people, taking that microscope and zooming in on the issues that the people are concerned about. So please share the live. Those on Facebook, those on YouTube, do the same thing. Share the live because sharing is caring. When you do, you give others the opportunity to be a part of the conversation. It's a good opportunity for you to share so that they can be a part of the dialogue. And let me go ahead and share the live on Facebook as well. It's important that we do that. All right. I want to say to you, wherever you are, be very careful with misinformation. In the last many days, there has been a concerted effort to mislead the general public and to paint the government bad. And they're doing so without even thinking about Grenada and the implications down the road. And you're seeing that coming from the opposition camp, right? You have to be very, very careful. And Grenadians are so quick to go into this panic mode because we have a lot of self righteous people out here who make you believe that they're, you know, the people who uh, sit at that table and they're, you know, flawless, they're sinless, they're perfect. And these people, they tend to come out, like the scribes and Pharisees from time to time. So you kind of have to expect that. But I'm saying be very careful with misinformation and disinformation. The NNP surrogates, they're doing this to cause panic in the society. And they can go on the Plead Your Cause program on WFM and say whatever they like. And the host, many a times, do not correct them. So, for example, this morning, you had this gentleman who called in and made certain pronouncements, words to the effect that this government, he will not support or he's not supporting this government passing laws regarding LGBT, um, whatever, around that. But that is not correct. That is false. The government of Grenada is not endorsing or passing any law where that is concerned. The government of Grenada is not doing that. We are a tolerant society. Let us accept that. We are a tolerant society. But for people to call a radio program and give the impression that this government is passing some law or this government is about to introduce something in the school, it is totally false. But it is being perpetuated, it is being pushed by those who dislike the government, who want to see chaos and confusion in this country and in the minds of our people. It is very sad when you have established media outfits. So, for example, GBN, they run a story, right? And this story is based on hearsay, gossip, rumors. And then they would say they're trying to reach the Minister of Education to get a comment. It's amazing. So, what occurred was the teachers, and they normally have workshops. They normally have workshops. So, they were in a workshop on gender sensitivity and LGBTQ sensitivity. In other words, providing them with information, awareness, because you're a teacher. And if you're a teacher, you will come across students who might display certain behaviors, and you need to be able to identify it so that the other students will not bully that student because they're different. That is really what it is, you know. It is not teaching that in the classroom or saying to your kids that they should be X, Y, and Z. No. But those NNP supporters are so nasty minded, bad minded, that they will be out there. Well, they can call the Plead Your Cause program on WFM and say anything, mislead the people, and the GBN seem to be without anybody to do the fact checking and making sure that all these concocted stories are indeed correct. It is really, really sad when you see these things happening. Come on, we could run away from this reality. You can't. We are living in a real world. You have family members who are a part of that community. You have family members who are part of that community. And your child or children might be a part of that community. You never know. What would you do? What will you do? I'm asking you a real question. You're not telling them to be that. You're not indoctrinating these people. No, you're not. And then when you see Devon Roche and all these people running and blah blah there, big mouth, without facts, without without evidence. But today, the Minister of Education will speak on this matter, right? In fact, he might be recording it as I speak. He will address the matter. Come on, we have to be real. You saying to me that you ain't grew up where a boy in your classroom is acting as a girl, or his behavior is girlish, or a girl and the behavior is boyish, and they are bullied or treated differently, scorned, and so on. You telling me that doesn't happen? It never happened. You never experienced that. You don't know about that. So the Ministry of Education having a workshop to sensitize teachers on that reality, that it exists. And as a result, we must understand that it exists. In fact, the UN, the WHO, all those international organizations, they have been for many years trying to raise awareness on that reality so that we do not discriminate one or bully these people. At the end of the day, they're human beings. You have to be real, you know. And you know what is amazing? What is amazing about all of this? Uh, it is illegal in this country. So it's still illegal in Grenada. So GBN did that story, and coming to the end, they then say it's illegal in Grenada. Yes, it is illegal. It's still illegal. This government is not passing any law or changing any law or introducing anything in the school. They're not changing the curriculum. And there are people who know better, you know. They are not changing the curriculum in school, you know. No, they're not doing that. All they're saying is that there will be students who would display certain behaviors, and you don't want other students to bully them or to treat them differently. They should not be disadvantaged. That is all what it is, you know. So they went into a workshop, and out of everything that they spoke about pregnancy, they spoke about abortion, they spoke about uh, um, contraceptives, you know, condoms and other things like that. They spoke about a whole range of stuff, right? But what those mischievous people did is to pull out where they spoke about the sensitivity regarding LGBT, right? They pull that out because they're out for mischief. And GBN run with that story, right? GBN ran with that story. I am saying that these things are real, right? You understand the point? It is real. So having a conversation about contraceptives and all these different things, that's real. It is not that the government is pushing these things. No, some of our people, sometimes they come across dunce and dumb. Some of our people, because you support the NNP, it means that you have to be so dumb and so silly to push all these dotishness. These people would call the Plead Your Cause program in the morning. I don't even want to. I mean, I recorded the thing. I recorded the thing. And these people going to push this stupidness. And you listen to them on the Plead Your Cause program. And the host of the program cannot even tell those idiots that no law is being passed for this. No law has been passed and will be passed for this. There's a law against this, right? But all that was done is a level of sensitization. So you telling me that you should not speak to your kids about the use of condom or sex and what they should and should not do? You telling me that you should not speak to them about that? So when I listen to Devon Roshi, I didn't want to call him a pastor. I just laugh. The guy's an idiot. If you ask me, he is an idiot. Because these guys are just quick to blah, blah, open their mouth, run their mouth. And you say to yourself, but why? Why you all are so quick to talk your country bad? Because you believe that the government will be impacted? The government will not be impacted, You will be impacted. You will be impacted. And that is why these people are doing all of these things. They believe by going out there, calling a radio program, and it's so sad. They have to rein in some of these radio stations and some of these programs where anybody free to just go and say any old thing, any false thing. Right? They have to rein in some of these programs. Because it's like you are free to pick up a phone and just slander, misinform, and because the host is as dunce as the callers, they just get away with it. And the information just spread, scandalize the whole. It's amazing. It's amazing. But you see, this is not happening in isolation. You have a certain individual who has a party, a political party, who puts out a statement regarding the young man who died on BBC Beach, right? And he sent that letter to the Prime Minister, right? I mean, it is so irresponsible of this individual. It's amazing. The level of irresponsibility from that individual. I don't want to even call his name. He's so desperate for power that he is willing to bring the whole RGPF into disrepute, drag them down. That is how this individual is. It's amazing. It's amazing. They have to rein in because, in other words, and look, for example, this individual here, Michelle Dollars Lewis, he's saying censorship question. You censor you. It's just stupid. You cannot have a radio station, right? Having a program and people are allowed to just call and say anything. Things that are false and not just about the government, right? Not just about the government, because that can actually cause chaos. It can cause people to panic. You could imagine, for example, somebody calling a radio station and say, there's a storm on the way, right? And go and shop and buy this and buy that. And people run into the shop or supermarkets and start buying up stuff and there's no storm. They cause panic. That is exactly what it is. Some people are so narrow in their thinking that is disastrous. And not just for them, but for the whole country. Because for you to run a story or call programs and talk about government passing laws or pass laws for LGBTQ this and LGBT this and that, this is false. But you're causing panic, particularly for people who are, who profess to be Christians and so on. So I am saying there must be some form of control, not because we are in a free society. it means that you can call a program and just say anything about Kem Jones. Come on, I remember someone called that same Plead Your Cause program some years ago, and I was recording that program, and they only said either Jones or Kem on that program, and they said they use radio or something like that, and they said certain things, and I was able to sue the radio station and had them apologize over and over and over and over and over again on their station, over and over and over again. So I am simply saying it is wrong for people to go on programs and use those kind of terms. It's just scary. And they know that it's false. You hear people saying, well, the government is trying to change the curriculum and introduce LGBT teachings within the curriculum. This is false. But you're saying to me that teachers should not be aware of that particular subject matter? Teachers should be, because they need to be able to identify a student who might be, displaying that kind of behaviors. Some of you people out there believe that you're smart, but you're not. You went in school, and in your class, you had one or two young men who were displaying girl-like behaviors. One or two young women who are displaying boyish behavior. Let's face it, you're not too damn hypocrite outside here. Come on. Why would you be so hypocritical? But you see, it's just some bad-minded people who believe by doing these things, they're going to cause the government to be affected, or they're going to get back into power. There are some of them who believe by doing these things, they're going to get back into power by doing these things. That is what they believe. But come on, the teachers need to know what to look for, right? And further, they need to protect these students too. They need to, because they will be bullied. They don't have to be treated differently. No. So I am saying raising awareness, a teacher, senior teacher. In fact, he was a principal, and now he's seconded to another area. And he said to me, Kem Jones, it's amazing how educated people could misinform those who are uneducated or unsuspecting. And he's correct, because it's educated people who are spreading this mischief. They have to rein in. For example, GBN needs to be held accountable as a media outfit when it comes to information dissemination. You can't put out stuff there and then you say, well, we're trying to reach the Minister of Education for a feedback or for a comment. If it's a real thing, something that happened in reality, meaning that some fire take place or some gunshot or some, it's real, so it happened, and you want a comment or a feedback or some message or whatever from a minister, you could see that. But some gossip, some hearsay, them say, you run a story giving people the impression that this thing is real, right? And then you want the minister to now come and comment on it. What kind of society is this? This is not press freedom. No, this is not journalism. Nope, that's not. It scares me because a person can go on a program. So for example, I could actually set up 5 people, groom them nicely to call the Plead Your Cause program, to say certain things, to cause the radio station, WeFM, to be sued. Yep. Because these people, they're just free to spread all this misinformation. They're just free to do it. I am simply saying, folks, it was a workshop, and every time around this period, teachers, they tend to have workshops, right? So it was a workshop, sponsored by, I think, the Teachers Federation of Canada, I think, where they were raising awareness, right, on gender sensitivity and LGBTQ sensitivity, information regarding that, what to look for, right, and how those folks must be treated and so on, because they're human beings. So that was done. Then, under the NNP administration, there was a particular documentation that was speaking to gender sensitivity, that was speaking to contraceptives, that was speaking to even violence and mental health and other different things like that. That it was the UN and a number of other organizations that that was actually raising awareness on those things. So that was discussed, and there is no additional thing to any curriculum. They're not adding anything to the curriculum regarding LGBTQ. They're not adding anything there. They're not changing any law. So stop all your damn stupidness. You are too big for that. Stop it. And sometimes I say to you, if you want to talk your country bad or spread misinformation, go with a basket in the river or the sea and use it to carry water, to fill a drum. And just do it forever until you get tired and fall asleep right there. Because baskets can't carry water. But I'm simply saying, just stop all your nastiness and nonsense. You pushing, and what is sad is when you have a leader who will write to the prime minister, right? So you have a particular leader, a ruler, well, I call that individual a ruler. He will write the prime minister. The investigation into the death of, the young man on the beach, right? BBC Beach. Josiah Robinson, John T, as he was famously called. And you try to understand, how is it that a leader will write the prime minister, right, of Grenada regarding this matter when the police is investigating the matter? And then you have so many other situations where things happen, right? People die. For example, you had Oscar Bartholomew. We didn't hear the same individual speak about that matter, right? We had this guy who was shot on a bike some years ago. We had the drowning in the lake. We had this teacher only recently, right? I am asking, why would this individual who is so hungry for power write the prime minister, right, of Grenada regarding that particular death and not the others? Why not write for everybody, all of them? But no, this guy, in my belief, is mendacious, is dangerous to our democracy. And never again should this individual be given the opportunity to come back into power. I'm telling you, because it's like they're so desperate. And I'm not even going to read the content of that letter because it's pure BS. But I thought I should speak to you about it because it is like they're trying to corner the government. All right? So they cook up this story, they concoct this story about LGBTQ being added to some curriculum or some law being passed. So they cook up that story. It's false, totally false. But they push in that narrative and they call in programs and push that nonsense because GBN ran a silly story, and then they say, well, they want to hear from the Minister of Education. Well, okay, you will hear from the Minister of Education today. You will hear from him today, right? But I am simply saying, what is wrong with the teachers or even your kids getting to know about contraception or contraceptive, sorry, about the same LGBTQ, getting to know about the behaviors, getting to know how to identify certain things. What is wrong with that? And they live in the society, they exist in the society. Is it trying to make your child become that? No, that's not the case. Come on. What is wrong with? So you're saying to me that you having the knowledge, you having the understanding, you having that kind of information, it's wrong? And in many instances, there are family members who are actually a part of that community. In many, many instances, that same pastor who come out and talk, right? I'm not going to call his name. He has a family member who is exactly a part of that community. So what would he do? Shun him? Huh? He speaks to him, right? He relates to him. You know, the double standard in this country, it's amazing. You know, I listened this morning to some hypocrites. When Scholar won the crown, those same folks who called this morning on that same Pledge program to big up Rootsman Kelly because they perceive Rootsman Kelly as a green man. They perceive that he's a green man. And they perceive that Scholar is a yellow. So they would not call and congratulate Scholar. No, they did not. But they are happy Rootsman Kelly won. Right? And that is to show the NDC. You cannot be sympathetic to these people, to the NNP supporters. You can't. Because all they are about is themselves, their supporters. So when one is removed from X or Y and their NNP, man, is a big talk and a big brawl. We have to ignore them. We have to ignore these people because you have to use these little things as learning curves. The mere fact that these people would call and congratulate Rootsman Kelly, which is okay. The same people, they are critical of Scholar, and they were not calling to congratulate him. No, because they were not doing it genuinely. They are doing this congratulation because they perceive Rootsman Kelly to be a green man. Right? That is what it is. So they want to see their people, their supporters, remain in power and at the helm. That is what they want. And that is why NDC needs to focus on their supporters, cost it what it may, cost it what these people are going to say. Who cares what they would say anyways? They would not vote for you and support you. They would not. So they try to appease them and make them happy. No. Don't. Because if you go to worry about what they would say, you'll be out of power. And they will be in. Because you see, they lose, they still want to win. And they win, and they still want to win. That is how the NNP operates. They party lose, but they still believe that they should win. They should be on all boards. They should still get all the VIP tickets and free tickets to go and, drink champagne and drink and eat free. A lot of them looking for a lot of free tickets, A lot of them. Free tickets to go to Soca Monarch tonight. Free for Panorama VIP they want it. And the Marsh Grand, all them different things. That is why they want free tickets. And they have people in certain places where they could get it. Because those NNP agents, they are still all about the place. And that is why you have to use this carnival as an opportunity to identify certain things and clean it up for next year. Clean it up and clean out these people. You have to clean out the system. You have to drain the swamp. You have to drain the system, or else you will end up in problems. They all about and they still believe that they're in power. They still believe that they're in power and they have control. I'm telling you, you go all about. That is how they operate. You go in some of those ministries and you watch. It's as though the NNP still in power, They believe in their mind that they are in power. We have to control these things. We have to control. When you're in power, you have to take charge. Take charge. You're the boss. Who vex the loss? That's what it is. And if you don't, you have a problem. Because, for example, WeFM still runs a lot of ads from Lotto, from Nawasa, from those different statutory bodies. That's government. Right? Government pays for those ads. The government must know that every morning on that program, you have people. They're free to call and spread misinformation about the government. And there is no form of, controlling that. No, the host will not even correct them. Many a times will not even correct them. But statutory bodies are putting ads on that station. And we know who owns that station. We know. It's not any secret. But I am simply saying, if you're the government, you have to find a way of controlling all this misinformation from getting out there. Because there are people who are spreading this falsehood, false information over and over again to cause chaos in the society. And I ask the question again, what is wrong with your child or you or the teacher getting to know about the LGBTQ individual and what to look for? And the mere fact that they're in our society. They're in our society. They're living among us. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm asking you, what would you do? What would you do to them? It's amazing. If you know, if you have the knowledge, then you will be better able to deal with the situation. You need the knowledge. Your child needs the knowledge. Your child would see those things on YouTube, would see those things on Facebook, on Instagram, and on social media generally. They're going to see it. Right? You all need to stop. Stop. And some of you all who are playing self-righteous and you're playing big holy Christian, go in the closet and check yourself. Because you're not married, or you're married, but you're still with somebody else, husband or wife. Yeah. You're not married, but you're with a woman or a man, and you have children. What do you call that? Not only that, you steal, you covet, you hate, you blaspheme, you do all kind of nastiness. So maybe you have to check yourself too, Go in the closet and open it up. While you're playing self-righteous. Go and deal with it. It is high time that we face reality. Face reality. Don't come and spread misinformation and scandal because you want to cause panic in the society, and you believe by doing that, you're going to impact government, you're going to affect government. Come on. You're going to, what would you do to the government of Grenada? You believe by doing that, you're going to get back into power? By pushing that kind of narrative, you're going to get back into power? Your desperation is too much. And that is why I said some time ago, they're acting like political drakes. They're acting like political drakes. They're grabbing onto anything. Well, you go poison all yourself, They're grabbing onto anything. Anything. Stop. Grenada belongs to all of us. All of us. This is our place. This is our home. So why would you try to cause panic in the society? And you just wonder what's going on, And these people know better, They know better. They know that it's illegal. And they know no law has been changed or no law is being introduced. They know that. They're fully aware of that. And they also know that the curriculum is not going to be changed. They know that. Don't fool yourself. They're aware. But they know also if they can cause fear in the religious community, people who go to church and who profess to be this and profess to be that, if they can cause that fear, then some of these people, they are not well researched. They don't research any stuff. In fact, when the minister speaks on the issue, right, today, and it's on GIS, or maybe it makes the news, right, they would not even hear it, but they already heard the misinformation. That is how it goes. That's how it works. The misinformation is already out there. The scandal, the rumor is already out there. Grenadians, we need to just stop for a moment and think about it. Think about it. Why would you try to cause panic in the society like this? So a person is free now. You pick up a phone and call Kim Jones. So a person is free to call this program and say anything. And I, your humble servant, shouldn't be in a position to correct them, to guide them, to say that this is false, that is incorrect, and that no law has been passed or nothing has been added to the curriculum, or let me seek clarification or information on that matter before scandalizing, before spreading, before throwing that rumor out there. Come on, people. We have to be more responsible, and the radio stations have to be more responsible. It's not just because we are in a free society, you're free to just say anything and do anything. Okay, you're free, you have freedom of speech. Go on and cuss the police. When you go and cuss the police, they would arrest you. Yes, you are free to speak, but you must also know that it's against the law to do such, to say such a thing. So yes, you have freedom, but there are consequences too. So not because you're free to wear clothes or be naked, it means that you can just walk the street naked. No. Indecent exposure, they're charging you, but you're free to be naked, right? Not because you have a license to drive, it means that you should, jump in a vehicle without brakes and drive. Or you have a crusade or some event in a junction, not because you're free to drive, it means that you just drive through the crowd and bounce people. There are consequences. There are consequences. So we have to reach to that place where we are so mature that we understand what's going down. It is dangerous to say the least. Right? So I am simply saying the time has come for us to reflect. Reflect on some of the things that we are doing. And the whole objective, right, behind all of what you're doing is to cause this government to be impacted or affected. You're not going to come back into power by going and spread misinformation like this or trying to write the prime minister for one person and you forget about all the other people. The prime minister is not the police. The police is doing the investigation. So why should you write on that one person? Why? I'm asking, but you see, that is how the individual operates. He wants to give the outside world the impression that Grenada is against this type of people or that community of people. That is exactly what the individual wants to do. He knows what he's doing. He wrote and have this in circulation to give the people the impression that the government is not doing what they're supposed to do regarding that. The police is not doing what it's supposed to do, and that he is concerned and, he's for that. That is exactly what he's doing. Don't fool yourself. That's what he's doing. He knows that the police is investigating the matter. Why he's not writing the prime minister for some other person who may have passed, who died in whatever situation? He would not do that because there is no political mileage to get from it. But this little individual, you had all these stars, some Hollywood and whoever, 2 people who involved there, who came out and talk and put some money for the people who behind this thing and whatever, right? Okay, all right. We heard that. So he's now jumping on that because he wants mileage out of it. It's dangerous. It is dangerous because Grenada belongs to all of us, me and you and all of us. So why then would you try to talk our people bad or our country bad or to paint a bad picture of our country? We're a tolerant society. We are a tolerant society. And what is wrong with a teacher or even your kids understanding these things? That is why some of those folks who play in are they self-righteous. They don't speak to their daughters about sex, right? Sexual education and contraceptives, using condoms and those kind of stuff, right? Abstaining from. They don't speak to them about these things, period. So they make them believe it's a taboo. And the minute time they get the exposure, they become pregnant. Or they contract some STD or some STI. Or they run away and they're doing all kind of stuff. And then they say, well, the child this and the child that. They don't want to speak to them about it at all. But the minute time the child start to do things, she get loose all about the place she's doing it. But if you speak to your child and you tell them about sex, the dangers, and so on and so forth, they will be better off. So why you don't want them to know about LGBTQ? That it exists. And that there are girls who act like boys. And there are boys who act like girls. And you should not bully them. You should not shun them or scorn them. Why? Why you don't want to have them know about that? Huh? They will encounter friends who are like that. Knowledge is power. And if you grow up your child properly, they may never depart from the knowledge that you impart on them. So sometimes we need to be real, And I'm speaking to those self-righteous people out there. And those NNP surrogates who are pushing this stuff. It's amazing, boy. But Grenada belongs to all of us. And we must use all these little things to learn. And I'm learning in the process. Because I understand fully that those NNP supporters, they are all about themselves. They don't care about Grenada. They still hot from the licking they got at the polls, and that would not change. They will forever be hot. That will not change anytime soon. Do not believe that that would change overnight. It would not. No. They don't like the country. They like their party and their ruler. And they vex that they were defeated at the polls. Huh? They vex that they were defeated at the polls. You know, I remember before they refused to teach us about people who are specially abled. You know, we say disabled people, right? But they are specially abled because they could do what a lot of people who believe they're normal can't do, right? So they're specially abled. Or autistic. Some of them, they're autistic. And there used to be people laughing at them. Yeah, laughing at them and making them feel dumb. But over time, as they teach, as they raise awareness, as they talk about, the fact that they're differently abled. Grenadians start appreciating these people more and respecting these people and not bullying them and not scorning them. And you could bear me out here on this particular subject matter. So you have to educate, you have to empower, you have to provide information and raise awareness. But to come and tell me that there shouldn't be any sensitization on the matter, just leave it like that. Okay, that's the society you want? That is the society you want? I'm asking, is this the society that you want? Come on, we're in 2023. This barbaric thinking has to change. You may have a cousin, an aunt, an uncle, a brother, or whoever who might be displaying certain behaviors. What you gonna do? Huh? What you gonna do? It's amazing, boy. Grenadians, stop. Stop it. I know a lot of you can't get over the licking you got at the polls. You are defeated, you're badly beaten. A lot of you can't get over that. This young guy came from nowhere in the politics and just beat this old man who been around for a long, long time, thought he was Goliath. Did David come and just boop, fall down? Right? Defeated, badly beaten. Can't get over that. He will never get over that. Never. Some of his supporters will never get over that. Okay, but because you are beaten, you are so badly beaten, it means that you need to concoct stories, throw out misinformation to cause panic in the society. You're talking your country bad. You're hating, you're bitter, you're so sour that nothing could be good, even if it's good. That is what you want. And you want power. You want to come back and govern that same piece of rock. You want to come back in power to control and govern this same. I am simply saying we have to wake up. Wake up. Come to reality. Come back to reality. This place belongs to all of us. It's not just a few. All of us. We have a stake here. We have a stake here. But folks, the Minister of Education will speak on the matter sometime today. So it might be on GIS first and in the other on the other media platforms. It will be out there. But it's shameful that GBN will run such a story and then say, well, it's illegal. The thing is illegal in the country. It's on our law books. Nothing has changed there. And they reached out to the Ministry of Education or the Minister of Education, and they did not get any word from them. What's to that effect? It is shameful that they would do such a thing. You don't do these things. These matters are too sensitive. You don't do that. But that will be under control. I believe so. They need to rein these people in. Not because you have a platform, it means that you can just say anything and get away with it. Folks, I want to thank you very much for being a part of the program. I wish you all the best Carnival weekend. I'll be back till on Wednesday morning. Normal programming from Wednesday morning until, as we continue the journey. Okay? So Wednesday morning from 8 a.m. I'll be back on, and Wednesday night, Thursday morning, Thursday night, Friday morning, and so on. So it's normal programming from there. All right? So take good care. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy your carnival. Let your knives and cutlass and so on remain at home. Guns remain at home. Do not carry weapons out there. Go out and have clean fun. Enjoy the carnival. Enjoy the mass. So far, it has been very peaceful so far. Very, very peaceful. We hope the same thing would happen on, for Juve itself, right? Because tonight is Soca Monarch, well, Power Soca and Groovy. So that's the night. Tomorrow you have Panorama. Panorama is tomorrow. And I think you have a white show up in the country. Then you have uh, Sunday, a white show in the stadium. And on Monday, you have Juve, St. George's. And Tuesday, you normally have it in St. David and St. Patrick. So we just hope that everything will be A-OK and it will be clean and safe. Stay on the safe side always. Speak to your young men in particular as they go out to these events to be around good company and, play it safe. All right? Play it safe. If you see me, say hi to me. I will say hi to you. I'll be out there at a number of events as I always, I'm always involved in the culture and being out there. So if you see me, you can say hi. Nothing wrong with that. Take good care. Have a wonderful